Hope all is well. My name is Carmel Gilbert, writer, editor, and self-publisher of the book The House of Addiction. The House of Addiction is an illustration of my life as an alcoholic, and welcome to my channel. Because of the social distancing, today I like to have a brief AA conference with me as the speaker. But before I get started, I like to give a shout out to anyone that may have been affected by COVID-19. My heart goes out to you and your family. And also, before I share, I am not familiar with the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, so I will not read any literature of that sort in the beginning of this gathering. Well, let's begin. Hi, my name is Carmel Gilbert, and I am an alcoholic. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, and living with my siblings, mother and biological father, who was and still is married. I witnessed at age 3 domestic violence for the first time. My mother and father eventually separated, and she moved in with another abusive man who fathered 2 of my younger siblings. And late one night, she left him, and we moved to Baltimore, Maryland. Living in a drug-infested neighborhood in the city, eventually my mother became an addict, I became an addict, and all of my siblings. And years later, I found out that my father also indulged in recreational drug use. As a child, I lived a life of misery because my mother was gone most of the time. There was no food, no guidance, and we had no idea how to survive in a world to which no one cared. I wanted my grandparents, but they lived in different states, yet I assumed neither of them on either side came looking for us. I had no direction while roaming the streets, and ultimately I became prey. At age 13, I started sleeping with an 18-year-old boy and got pregnant. And then I found myself being in a situation of domestic violence, just as my mother. And I too wound up leaving a year later. Shortly after that, I became a prostitute and petty thief and paid the price for my sins. All of my childhood, I felt unloved, so I became cold-hearted to the point where I didn't know how to love my first child, and I have on many occasions apologized to him for that, which is more than I can say about my mother. She did not even on her deathbed apologize for anything she ever put me and my siblings through. And that hurt me to the core because I needed that apology. As an adult, I drank because I was trying to rid the pain and embarrassment of my childhood. And during that time, my addiction to alcohol became worse. But on May 2nd, 2013, after decades of crying and pleading to God, a miracle took place in Maryland General Hospital. God healed me, and I thank him for 7 years of sobriety. If you'd like to know more about my story, pick up a copy of my book, The House of Addiction, which will be available for sales on the Amazon platform about and around 8/10/2020. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, give me a big thumbs up and share in the comment section your story of how addiction affected your life. You can find me on Facebook, Carmel Miss Fancy Gilbert, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. God bless and have a drug-free day. Bye-bye.